Hey guys, it's Paul Flynn of Megiddo Radio. It is the 31st of July 2019. I'm going to do a quick vlog, or as quick as possible, on more transgender madness. And the latest one is in regards to a Mario Lopez interview on Candace Owens' program. I think maybe some of you are aware if you on Twitter. Anyway, if you're not aware, Mario Lopez, I recognize the guy. I've seen him on television, maybe when I was a kid or something like that. Anyway, he's gotten in trouble for daring to question um, children being transitioned, um, from boy to girl, girl to boy, when they're about 3 years old or very, very young or whatever the case. So we're just going to play it so you get the context of where this scandal is coming from. And yeah, this is where things are going, unfortunately. Let's play it.
There are some weird trends, and one of the weirder ones for me, at least to try to process, is this new trend where celebrities are coming out, and I know Charlize Theron did this a few weeks ago, and saying that their child is picking their gender, and this is strange to me, just because they say, oh, I looked at my child was swimming in a bathtub, and looked up and said, "Mommy, I'm a boy," and that's weird to me because even though I'm not a parent, I nannied for 5 years of my life, and the things that come out of children's mouth, like, they say whatever in the moment. You don't know what they've seen on TV, what got in their head.
Right.
And I've had children say they were mermaids. I've had children say they could fly and jump off of a staircase, and thank God I caught him, right, because he thought he could be Superman. And so I'm trying to understand this new Hollywood mentality where they just think that their children now uh, have the mental authority and
I am trying to
clarity.
understand it myself. And please don't lump me into that whole.
No. I see you're not doing that in your household.
No, I mean I'm kind of blown away too. And look, I'm never one to tell anyone how to parent their kids, obviously. And I think if you come from
Maybe
a
you
place,
should though, because you seem to be doing something
well,
right.
thanks. And I always say if you come from a place of love, you really can't go wrong. But at the same time, my God, if you're 3 years old and you're saying you're feeling a certain way, or you think you're a boy or a girl, whatever the case may be. I, I, I just think it's dangerous as a parent to make that determination. Then, okay, well, then you're going to be a boy or a girl, whatever the case may be, and it's sort of alarming. And my gosh, I just think about the repercussions later on.
Right.
And
To me, I just see depression because when I was in fifth grade, I don't know, it was this weird thing in fifth grade where me and my girlfriend Molly, like, we were tomboys. Like, we just were like, we're tomboys now. So we'd wear like baggier pants, the cargo pants were in,
yeah.
and I tried to make my voice a little bit deeper. One year, went to middle school, and everything was fine, you know?
Right.
It was just a phase. And I hadn't gone through puberty yet. Like, you can't make a decision about your sexuality when you're 3 years old. I was in fifth grade.
Well, that's just it. I don't think when you're a kid. At least when I was a kid, I remember kids still think my daughter still, some boys have cuties, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're so. I don't think you don't know anything about sexuality yet. You're just a kid.
Right. And
So
then making that determination so young, I
Right.
just see, like, if my parents, when I was like, I'm going to be a boy today, shaved my head, and were like, you've made the decision,
No,
I
right.
can't even imagine how depressed I'd be once I went through puberty, once I started liking guys, and then having made up my mind when I was in fifth grade. And I think that's a really scary trend that we're seeing coming out of Hollywood right now. And at the core of it, to me, seems like narcissism, like virtue signaling. Like, you just want to say, I'm so tolerant and I'm so accepting that whatever my kid wants to do, they can do.
Okay, so you're probably going, what's so objectionable about that? Hopefully you are saying that. I don't want to dedicate a whole program to this. If this is the first vlog you've ever stumbled upon, normally there's a show twice a week, Tuesday and Friday on. You can listen to it live on YouTube, but I didn't want to dedicate a whole program to this because I've dealt with other things with transgender related recently, and there's a load of blowback, and a lot of blowback from Hollywood. The fact that you would dare, or not even Hollywood, even just a lot of people in general, where they have a massive problem. Try and get the Kathy Griffith um, comment here. Where did that disappear to? So there's a lot of what you would say disagreement or whatever. Where is this coming from? I mean, what did he say, right? What was the conversation? And pretty reasonable, even if just say you agree. It's nonsense, by the way. It doesn't matter whether you're 30, 40, whatever. You cannot change your DNA. You are a boy or you are a girl or you are a woman or you are a man. I sympathize with people who are going through this issue, but it doesn't change who you are. That is just who you are. And you I can sympathize in the same way I'll sympathize with somebody who thinks that the TV is talking to them. I or they have schizophrenia or any kind of other mental illness or whatever. I can sympathize with that, and I feel bad. It's horrible, but the fact that it's now seen as backward to be, well, for science. Trying to, don't know where that disappeared to. Kathy Griffith, anyway, just responding to, said, can confirm he has taught this way for many years. Sat next to him and civilly argued these points several years ago. I chuckled because anybody knows anything about Kathy Griffith and the word civil together, it's a little bit hard to see. Unless you agree with her on absolutely everything, then I'm sure she might be civil for 5 seconds. Argued these points several years ago when we were working a TV show together. He's dug in with this backward nonsense. Told me I didn't get it because it was a Latin thing. Don't know what that last reference is. Anyway, so a lot of people are very, very angry. Don't be telling me how to parent and all this. Look, he was being very measured about it. He was being controlled about it. He wasn't even saying that transgenderism was wrong. It is, by the way. He was being completely mild and didn't really say anything. He didn't say anything controversial at all. This is the level the hysteria and the mob mentality has kind of gone to. How would I respond to it? Well, here's the thing. It's child abuse, okay? if you're look, I got 2 4-year-olds and they say all sorts of stuff to me. I'm pretty sure they might have identified as a dog at one point. What should I do? Should I change their species? The whole point of being a parent is you're teaching them, taking them from their childish ignorance, sweet, naive as it is, and it's wonderful, obviously, it's wonderful, to adulthood. And that requires you teaching them things. Not, hey, you small child there, what do you think you are? Well, we're just going to support you in all that. Oh, well, that's just wonderful. It's child abuse. If you put your child on hormone blockers or allow some kind of mutilation to the body of a person, that is child abuse and you're a bad parent. Okay? Pretty simple. What Mario Lopez said was very, very mild. This needs to be said. It's child abuse. It's child abuse. He's saying, I'm not trying to tell anybody the parent. No, it is child abuse that is wrong. Could you imagine if somebody said, well, you know what, I'm going to chop off my child's finger or something like that? Well, if you're Charlize Theron, her child abuse of her child came up, which was her, what was it says here in the Daily Mail? She has a child that identifies as a trans girl, which basically mean he's a boy. I don't know if, by the way, just to lie to your child like that, that's wrong. That is wrong. It's amazing that it's called backward nonsense This is science, folks. You can't change DNA. You're either a man or a woman. The chromosomes say different. They're different for male and female. It's amazing. It's 2019, and this has to be said. I'm gonna go. I hesitate to say it because it's like, well, you know this stuff, but this is all It's true what Candace Owens says. It is narcissism, but it's all which is the idolatry laid out in Romans chapter 1, rebellion against God, rejection of the creation order. But if you are subjecting your child, this needs to be said. It needs to be said now before it gets any worse. Okay, we need to kind of go. I know some of us maybe are thinking, almost in disbelief. And how did it get to this point? How? Okay, I understand that, but we need to get past our disbelief, and we need to kind of call it out a little bit and just say it's child abuse. It is wrong. It is sick and it's wrong. Do you know what? Right? There's one. It's bad when a fully grown adult is doing this, and you would advise them against it. But when a child is under a care of someone who should know better, that children say all sorts of stuff, which is what Candace Owens said, and she was right. Okay. I mean, I think when I was 6, I thought it was Batman or something like that. What would happen to you if you went up to a mental hospital and you said, "I am Batman"? Like here, that's what I'm saying. We've gone. The culture is gone insane. So, for the sake of those few people, we might be able to just call it out what it is. If you are allowing your child to transition, you're a bad parent and you're abusing your child.